In this video, I'm going to show you how I post-produce in Reaper scripture recordings that were recorded on a phone. So let's get started. In this video, I'm going to refer to many other videos that I've had so I don't have to repeat it and make this a very long video. But if you want to do the editing in Audacity, so I have links to videos of how I did this for Here's This project. So check those links out if you want to use Audacity. This is part 2 of recording audio on digital recorders and on phone, and now I'm going to edit it, and you're going to have to watch my other videos of how I set up my effects here. I'm going to go briefly over it, but I'll have a link. I'll try to have a link here at the very top, but I'll have a link in the description down below in the notes how I set all these effects up. So we have Audacity open here, and we have our script. Remember, we took a picture of it, and we emailed it, and we also emailed the audio files. So we want to get started here, and so we want to get file number 1, which is where it says Matthew chapter 2. So I have it off screen here, so it's just not so crowded. So I'm going to grab this file right here, and I'm going to zoom in, and then this is going to be where it says Matthew chapter 1, according to this right here. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to turn the effects off.
Matthew chapter 2.
Okay, so that's correct. And so I want to take this and trim it up and bring it over to here. And now I want to put in my marker. So this is going to be section head 1. So I'm going to put in S1. And now I want to go out about 2 seconds. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to look at my little time in that little box there at the bottom where it says length. Let me show you again. It says about 2 seconds. So I can see that's about 2 seconds right there. And so I can click there so I know when I bring in my next file, file number 2, drop him down here, and I take the front of him and take him off. I line it up with there. So it's going to be about 2 seconds. And this should say, the visit of the Magi.
The visit of the Magi.
Okay, and now I want to go out and I want to do mark verse 1. So I come here and I want to put a marker here and I put a 1 and I want to go out about 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to go out, I'm looking at my time there, 1.5 seconds right about there. And so I'm going to click and I'm going to take this right here and file number 3, bring file number 3 down, and I can take the front of it off here and bring it in. And now I'm going to listen to, and I'm going to be marking the other verses as we come along.
Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen the star in the east and have come to worship him."
So you can see that I was marking the verses as I was listening, and you can learn how to do that if you go to the link about marking verses. So we're going along here, and you can see that I made a mistake here. And so you can see here too, and so it should be when Herod. So we're going to take this. I like keeping the spacing, so I don't delete everything off. I go to where it says Herod, and now I'm going to get file number 4. So I go up, grab file number 4, bring him down, and I can clean this up right here, and I can bring it right up to here. And then I'm going to go along, and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to mark the verses. I'll do this off screen here. Okay, I marked the rest of the verses here, and we can see that there was a mistake, and we have to get another file number 32. And it's where the child was, and that's right before 10. So that should be fairly easy to find. So we can zoom in here, and it's probably right here.
Where Jesus was.
Okay, and I should have been where the child was. So I'm going to split that, pull it over, and I'm going to go get the file. I've already grabbed it and brought it in. And so I bring this guy down. And if it's too tight, okay, I can pull this in right here. Bring him down. And just bring the end back here. So then when we go along, we can hear,
came and stood over a place
where the child was.
When they saw those
Okay. Sound a little bit different. It was recorded at a different time, but you can't really do much about that. Now that we've listened to it, we have all the timing on it. We messed around and corrected spacing, and we have all the verses on there, and even the extra little mistake here, file number 32. Then we're going to go ahead and clean up the audio. And there was some really good hiss and everything right here. So we want to get this hiss right here. So we're going to highlight, and we have this. Hopefully you can see it okay. And we have it on loop. And we want the effects on, and we want to click down here, and we want to get our reefer, and we want to take this noise here and reduce it. We might not get it out completely, and this was fairly noisy compared to other parts in the file. So we go ahead and hit it onto subtract here, subtraction, and then we're going to get the profile. And so, boy, that's a lot of noise everywhere. Okay, so we're not hearing that, and I'm going to make sure all the other effects are off. And so I'm going to take this and unclick it. Okay, and so now, and I want to take it and hold the control button, pull it down, and we want to start hearing the noise. So when you hear it there, and you want to bring it up until it just barely kind of goes away, I'll leave it a little bit in there because the noise gate will take it out, but you don't want to impact your narration. So let's listen to the narration here. I'm going to loop it.
When they saw the star, when they saw the star, when they saw the...
And I'm going to hold the control and move this up and down and see how it impacts it. So we can see that the top here is about at this line.
When they saw the star, 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 when they saw the star.
You can hear it a little bit, but you don't want to start making him sound robotic if I take it and press it.
When they saw the star, 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 when they saw...
So I'm going to be fairly happy with it there. And as we look at this, this was kind of the noisiest spot. So if I come over here where somewhere else, you might want to... So you can still hear it a little bit. It's still a little bit there, but I can remove it a little bit more, but how much do you want to go? So I'm going to kind of keep it there. So I'm going to play it, and I want to listen to it and see if it really impacts the speaking too much.
Where is he who has been born King of the Jews?
So it sounds okay. So now we're going to go to the noise gate. So I'm going to turn this off. Well, I can keep it on. And then I don't see any breaths or any pops or anything like that too much. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going, okay, it looks a little bit noisy there. And okay, there's like a pop right there. So we're going to go here, and we want to take that out. So we're going to take the noise gate, and we're going to turn the noise gate on, and we want to make sure that we reduce that. So this one right here is going to take out the hiss, but now we're trying to get rid of that pop there. Okay, and so as I take it and go down, I don't know if you can hear that very well, but you can see it over here, and you want to take it. And so right there, -30, so it's taken out that noise there, and you're going to be listening later on, but then you want to listen, is it taken off the beginning of the words?
For this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of...
And there is echo in the room, so you can get the echo out in between, but it's really hard to get out reverb, echo, and stuff like that. I've done a lot of research, and most people say it's really hard unless you buy a lot of really expensive plugins. So
this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judea.
And so, okay, happy with that. And then, like I said, I'm not going to try to teach you about EQing, but there I have an EQ that I've kind of set up for this. And then I'm going to do compression. And so I want to take it, and I like to compress it somewhere a little bit over 6, somewhere in here. So we're going to take it, and I have my settings from before, and I'm going to listen to it.
In Bethlehem of Judea.
Okay, that's a little too much, so I'm going to bring it back. And this is how I can control the compression, is right here, if you watch my other video.
In Bethlehem of Judea. For this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judea.
Okay, so somewhere in there, and we're going to listen back, and you're going to look at all these. And now I'm going to do the limiter, and I typically do the limiter with the loudness meter so I can make sure that it's set correctly. So now I'm going to turn on the loudness meter.
In Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet.
So that's a little too strong. I like it more in the 15, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it up so it's not, farther I bring it down, more it limits it. So I want to go more this direction, go up to reduce this so it comes down.
For this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judea, and by no means least among the leaders of Judea, for out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my...
And then when I get done with that, I'm going to zoom back, and I'm not going to spend all the time doing it here, but I come in and I listen to the whole thing, and I'm looking at my effects and just listening to it overall. How does it sound and everything? So we're going to go here.
Matthew chapter 2.
Looking at my levels.
The visit of the Magi. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen the star in the east and have...
And so that's cleaning up pretty good. Getting the reverb is the hardest thing. I didn't do this in a closet. I just did it in my living room. And so that's why I suggest that you go and have the person do it where there's not much echo, because echo you can't get out very well. And then I will just take this and I would render it. So you have to watch my other video. I'm not going to do all the rendering here, but you render and export this, and then you export your markers here. And so hopefully this will help you know how to do this whole process of cleaning up the audio from a phone recording. If you found any value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share so YouTube will recommend it to others.